Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Ready to Love Season 4 Episode 2 entitled Mixer and Mingle. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. We start out with DIRI. He pulls up and he's saying, look, in the beginning, it's all about the physical. And the people who don't agree, look, they got to be ugly. He gets himself some champagne, sits down, and we have Miss Stacy that pulls up and she says she's ready for this entire experience. She's been in a relationship for 17 years, but in her previous life, she likes to call herself a little player. Those two meet and greet one another, and then we have David pulls up. He says he's ready for something more and he's wanting to see what God has planned for him. Then we have Vernicia that pulls up. She's telling producers that, hey, I don't have a specific type, but if a man is a great pick, he is for me. They meet each other again, and David says, why don't we just all go around and say a fun fact about ourselves? And Stacy, from the look on her face, she doesn't think that that's a good idea, and they all share a good laugh. We have Mr. Troy that pulls up and he says, hey, women love me, especially when we travel. I get an opportunity to get her on that beach and smack that you feeling the rest. We have a little chit chat with Chrysanthemum, and she says, a lot of people can't say her name correctly, so she's just gonna go by Chris. She has a talk with Troy and he says, so what's up with you? And she has this tone like, well, I'm half Italian. My name's Chrysanthemum, but most people can't say Chris, so you can just call me that. We have Mr. AJ that pulls up and he's saying that he's so ready for love and ready to see what's next. And when he pulls up, it's very, very evident that Chrysanthemum, Stacy, and Vernicia like the chocolate and what they see. AJ says, I'm a producer and this is my passion. I've been doing it for years. And you know what? This was just a passion that was creatively late. Vernicia, she's all giggles and smiles saying, well, hi, how are you? Do you like kids? He's like, yeah, I like kids. She says, well, the kitchen was closed when he brings up her having more children. So she's a little kiki about that. And even Stacy says, oh, how are you? And gives a little southern lean. And when she goes into lean, she's like, oh, you're not even going to try to catch me? Oh, okay, then. We got Ida that pulls up. And when she tries to get up the little steps, she has a little slip, but she's okay. Liz says she's ready to meet some good men, and it's just a shame they're all here at the same time. And she has a little talk with David. They spark a little interest when she says that she loves to sing and she loves the church. And David puts her on the spot to say, okay, well, why don't we just sing a little song together? They start to bust out in song and people are turning around like, okay, are they singing on a date or outside? What's going on? We have KHALEEL that pulls up. Remember, I got to say it like Regine from Living Single. You're the teacher. He says that unfortunately, when he dated people in the past, they were all toxic. He comes in and you can tell that he's a little bit socially frightened by everybody else. He tries to make a little conversation with a few ladies. And, Trista says, he just has no swag whatsoever. We have Miss Kyra that pulls up in her beautiful green, and the men definitely spot some of the spark there. AJ even sees it too, but she wants to mingle and look around. Jason loves her dress and her makeup and proceeds to pull her away as KHALEEL tries to talk with her. He loves her athletic build and feels that she's well put together and she doesn't even look her age. We have Mr. Tommy. He pulls up to talk to everyone and says, welcome. I know you all are ready to love. And if you notice, there's 10 women, but only 9 men. There's a lot of surprises today, and one of them is that I'm bringing back a guy from last season. It's the first thing that we've done in Ready to Love history. He brings back from the previous season Chris, and Miss Stacy, oh, she's happy about that. Chris reflects on last season, how he connected with one person and regrets not meeting any of the other ladies. That they had a connection, and as soon as they disagreed, she cut him off. Yeah, that's right, Miss Naya. Since he didn't connect with any of the other women, it was all this time wasted, and the women wasn't feeling him like that because it'd been so long and they were trying to stay loyal to somebody else trying to get to know Chris. So they decided that he wasn't ready to love. Chris says that he's not making the same mistake twice, and he is going to mingle and meet all of the ladies. Tommy reminds people that they are there for a reason. Mingle, get to know everybody as much as you can because there's going to be surprises all over the place. There's 20 of them, but they're going to stop at 6. That's right, 3 couples. Tommy drops the ball that 2 of them will not be proceeding past that night. People break off into their little corners, and some of the ladies are really excited to see Troy, but Ronald doesn't think that it's fair that he's coming back. He knows how the whole Ready to Love system works, and he kind of sees that as a default to the other guys because they have to learn from scratch. Alexis says that she wanted to holler at her son's basketball coach, which was actually Jason, but she didn't want to have him feeling awkward because she wanted to keep it professional. Wow, I don't want to talk to the coach. That coach is my son, so it's a little awkwardness. Jason says it was surprising, but he's flattered that she was interested, and she definitely has a leg up before all of the other ladies so far. Ida jokes with the gentleman about how she's appreciative that his ankles are moisturized very well. She pays attention to detail. Her name is Ida, but she wants to go by Vicky because growing up on the show Small Wonder, there was a robot girl and she was obsessed with her. KHALEEL tries to speak with Amber and it's really kind of awkward. He's like, "Oh, you're a prosecutor, huh? Oh, well, you throw people in jail?" She's like, "No, I don't throw people in jail." He's like, "Oh, they throw themselves in jail." Right? She's like, "No, that ain't it." So it's pretty lame-o what they're going through. It's already rubbing Amber the wrong way because people judge her all the time before they really get to know her based upon what she does for a living. People take notice of Joel and even joke about his open shirt and the muscles, but they're feeling them, especially Liz. Vernicia and Joel share something in common as being single parents. He says he really doesn't like to bring up his deceased wife, but he kind of has to talk about it because it's part of his story. And he's also been in Texas for about 2 years, so he's trying to develop some type of dating and getting with the flow, but it's pretty difficult. He compliments Vernicia and saying politely, "May I ask you how old you are?" And she says, "Well, I'll be 40 shortly." He says, "There's no way that you're going to be 40. She's like, "Yes, I got a 19-year-old. And he's like, "There's no way that you have a 19-year-old. You look good, girl." And it's making Vernicia just blush and hee, honey. He also loves the fact that she has a beautiful smile, a beautiful body, but she's dressed properly. He noticed that she doesn't have everything all out, even though she got them curves. Christian said he's never been married, doesn't have any children, but knows that the person that he loves, to love that person how his mother would want to be loved. Stacy tells Vernicia and Kyra that I'm really feeling Chris, but he seems a little shy and timid. He just seems like he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. And the ladies say, "Well, okay, well, let's just call him over. Chris!" And he looking around like, "What?" Stacy's like, "I'm out of here." So Chris comes over there. He's looking like, "Man, am I in trouble? What's going on?" He's looking around like a little kid in trouble. And he's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" So she's straight up. She's like, "Look, there's a few of the ladies that are really digging you. We think you're super cute, but we just feel that you're a little shy and a little timid. And we want to know more about you before we have to make elimination decisions." Kyra says that once he started talking, it went from being interested to a kind of this brotherly love, let me look out for him kind of vibe. And it was a downer, but she's going to let him speak. And hopefully maybe some of the other girls may love what he has to say. Chris says, unfortunately to production, as I was speaking, I could tell that the ladies were uninterested. And other people started to jump into the conversation. For example, Diedrich, and says, "Hey man, you got to know yourself and be assertive." But Chris is just like, "Wow, like that's you though. Let me be me." This is a funny scene. Deirdre tries to speak with Andrea, but she gives this long story about, "Oh my God, since I'm a flight attendant, I'm gone for long periods of time. So my mother had to take in my cat, and my mother called me and said, unfortunately, your cat has been missing for 2 days." And it's hilarious to me because Deirdre has this look like, "Oh no, all. But you can tell deep down inside, he don't want to hear about that cat. He want to hear about her. Tommy sits down with Kyra, Stacy, and Venetia and wants to know how are they feeling so far? What are some of their thoughts? Kyra and Venetia, they are feeling Joel to the fullest because he has a lot of content and character. He's a single father, and he seems honest with things that he's saying. Alexis and Kyra are feeling Jason because they love his vibe. Stacy, on the other hand, she is calling Diedrich Pawpaw. And Tommy's like, who is Pawpaw? She's like, oh, Diedrich. A lot of other ladies, they mention Chris, Joel. They're just, naming a whole bunch of people. The reoccurring names that come up that the women aren't feeling are Christian and KHALEEL. They feel it's just this awkwardness. Maybe they're a little shy and they're not really talking that much. Kyra drops the bomb that, you know what? There's a few guys here I used to date, and specifically AJ. She says they went on 2 dates. The first date went well. The second one, not so much. She says that he has a reputation amongst a lot of her girlfriends as Mr. El Cheapo. She describes that when they went on a date with each other, she put her car down, went to the restroom, came back, and it hadn't moved, as if insinuating, yeah, girl, go ahead and pick up that tab. Tommy brings everyone around and says, hey, I know all of you are having a good time and everything seems to be going well, but unfortunately, the women have collectively decided that one of you isn't ready to love. There's a production clip when Christian is saying that he's super nervous, doesn't feel good about it, but he wants to stay because he really wants to meet someone special and he has a feeling he'll meet her at this resort. The person that has been selected as not ready to love is KHALEEL. What's hilarious is that after Tommy announces that it's KHALEEL, all the ladies go, what? As if they're just so surprised. KHALEEL says in his production clip that what he's learned from this experience is just to open up and put himself out there a little bit more. Don't be afraid to just be more talkative and don't come off as shy. Now Tommy says it's time to mingle a little bit more because there has to be one more person that's eliminated. Andrea and Christian, they sit down, try to have a talk, and it's this awkward, hey, hello, ha ha ha. So it's this very dry scene. We then have Alexis and Troy. They have a little talk. She's trying to get to know him more, and Alexis is saying, the only thing that's going through my head is who have I not talked to, because I want an opportunity to speak to everyone. She speaks with Troy, looks at his necklace, and see that it says man of God, and she's like, oh, that's good, all right, wonderful, you're older, you're chocolate, that's great, all of these exciting things about you. Alexis is feeling him, she's like, he has this vibe and I'm feeling him unexpectedly. And Troy is saying to production, all I need is just one kiss on the cheek because that's like my signature thing. So let me try to land this kiss on the cheek. And it seems like for the 80th time, Troy has asked, hey, so you like to travel? You like to travel? You want to go somewhere? You want to go? You want to travel with me? Okay. And she says, okay, yeah, that's something that I love to do. I love to travel. But the viewers know he's asked every single lady this tonight. Jason says that throughout the whole entire evening, he's looking for red flags and people that really don't rub him the right way. And it's Ida. He's really not digging her conversation because she does seem to be all over the place. She's talking like, well, if you know me and if you know people that know me, they know that I'm just a very good person. It's all about respect, and she's just looking all over the place. And Jason is just like sitting there like, oh, okay. Jason is like, wow, she can talk. There was a moment where I could fit 2 words in, and then as soon as I said those 2 words, she just cut me off and went right back into talking. So Kyra sees it as a perfect opportunity to speak to Mr. AJ, and she's trying to let go of the grudge that she had from their dates, but wants to put it out there and talk about it because he's right there. And she says, that second date was just terrible, and I just really need to see what was the reason and what was going on. He explains an embarrassing situation that while they were out on the date and she put her card out to pay, she went to the restroom, he tried to pay with his card, but it was declined. So then he said, well, maybe I should let her pay. Kyra tells him, everybody makes mistakes, but if you just would have been honest from the beginning, maybe we could have worked it out. but she feels like she had to just at least get him to explain what happened that night. She wants to let that go and just start over and just give it another chance because it was an awkward situation. Andrea and Ron talk, and they seem like they're getting things kicked off to a really good start. And he wants to know how she feels about kids and marriage. And she says, oh yeah, kids, marriage is a wonderful thing. And so is he. But he says, you know what, since you're a flight attendant, that really doesn't fit into my traditional ways. And she says, well, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean? He says, well, since you're a flight attendant, you will be away all the time. And I guess that would make me a stay-at-home dad. But I would need you to be at home with the child and me. And she says, okay, so would that be a temporary situation? Maybe you're talking about those very critical development years. And he's just like, no, I would think that would need to be all the time. So she does not like it, that conversation. She looks around his shoulder at other guys and says, well, I need to get up and talk to him. And maybe you should get up and go mingle with other women. It's very evident that she's not feeling Ron at all. In between mingling, we see Troy lunging at Liz, trying to get a kiss. And she's like, oh, Troy, like, if you don't get off of me. Tommy sits down with some of the fellas, more specifically AJ, Joel, and Jason. And Tommy wants to know, who are they feeling? Jason says that he's feeling Alexis, Amber, and Kyra. And Tommy jokes with him and saying, oh, 2 lawyers, in the mix, he must be in a lot of trouble. And they laugh about that. AJ, he's feeling Kyra, and he does share the story about the fumble that he did on the date. And he's also feeling Vernicia. Joel is feeling Chrysanthemum. He can't say her name. Ron is also feeling Chrysanthemum. He can't say her name either. And David is feeling Chrysanthemum, but he can't say it. And Liz. So Tommy says, if y'all like her, most definitely you have to learn how to say her name. But in the meantime, please say Chris. Troy is feeling Amber, Chris, and Alexis. Who they're not feeling, kind of as a collective amongst the guys, is Ida, because she unfortunately talks too much. Tressa, because she seems like just like a homie, like a friend, and there isn't any connection. And Andrea. Ooh, and it's a cold night in Houston. Tommy says the goal of everything that's going on is to have true connections. And we got to get rid of the ones that you're not feeling. Now, I know many of you are expecting a woman to be eliminated right now. But remember when I said I would drop in some curveballs? Well, here's one now. There's going to be another guy that's going to go home tonight. And all of the men's smiles go to looks of concern. All of the men are nervous, and Chris from the previous season said that he has some elimination PTSD. Tommy says, for the guys, the women collectively have selected a bottom 2. And those 2 people are Christian and Ron. Ron says in the production clip that he's really feeling nervous and he regrets some of the conversations that he had with some of the women. And maybe he should start to lighten his tone and not be so harsh. They get down to the elimination and they announce the guy that is going home is Christian. Christian says goodbye to everyone, and of course, collectively, it's the woman, as if they didn't just tell Tommy they weren't feeling the guy. Christian says in his production clip that, you know what, I've learned that if I want something, I can't be timid, and I've got to go for it. But he says bye to everyone, and it leaves good vibes. Tommy tells everybody, please stay on your P's and Q's, because for the rest of this process, the power to eliminate will flip back and forth. So be ready. And that is the end of the episode. Ooh, and it is the best part of the video, my review. Where do I begin? TKKK. Well, for one, I told y'all not to get wrapped up in their production clips. When they the Meet the Cast episode when it's just them talking to the producers, because that's just the representatives. I told y'all don't get excited when it came to those little quotes and stuff that they were saying that they posted online, and you were like, ooh, OMG, this person is such a Christian. Ooh, OMG, this person is just so nice. No. You have to wait on people to start speaking and showing their true colors, because still people are still showing their representatives. You know what I'm saying? And then if you think about it, this is the best that they're gonna give. So you can just male and female, right? Going forward, it's only gonna either get worse or it's gonna get better because they figured out how to talk to certain people. Let me start with Stacy. I can already tell she's a little too clingy. I can see it already. And I can also see it with David. It's just something about those two that just kind of had me like, what's going on? Stacy seemed like she was just there trying to mingle and have fun. But she said something that raised a bunny flag to me. She said that she's been with somebody for 17 years and she's going back into the dating life. But before that, she was a player? What does that mean? Does that mean that we like a whole pack of Oscar Mayer wieners? Or do we just like one single hot dog? I got a feeling that she's holding something back and not telling us. Maybe she's trying to make it seem like she's just, I've just been in a relationship for 17 years and those are the ones you want to watch out for. And David, you just seem like you can't make up your mind and you have the nerve to make up your mind. I could see if you were Morris Chestnut. I could see if you were David Washington, right? John David Washington. I could see if you had the audacity to be picky. But sir, you've been married twice. And those women gave you a chance. So I think it's a you. Yeah. Standing in the need of prayer. Sing that one. Because it's you, David. Yeah. Standing in the need of. Cut it off. Need of prayer. It's you, bruh. Okay, sing that song. Can you sing that? Liz, let me go on with you, girl. Girl, it's another one. It's another one claiming they just so holier than thou. But they've been single, not dating. It's been, 17 years? Boo, I don't believe you. I believe that you got a lot of Hotel 5 cards in your dresser. Wouldn't surprise me if you do, because you're breaking out the songs and the hymns, right? But girl, you just, the lies. I'm waiting on the lies to come out. This facade that people try to make out that they're just so perfect. I'm not feeling it. AJ, I honestly believe is there for promotion, right? He keep talking about, I'm this producer, I'm producing, I'm a producer. And then you had the nerve to say, this is an art that I caught on to later. I mean, it's good to have, career changes and stuff like that. But that lets me know right off the top, bruh, you've been doing this 15 years, but at the same time, you can't pay for a meal going out to eat, and your card was declined? What is going on? You make me think, sir, that your whole image and everything that you're doing is just crap. So it lets me know, I have a feeling, you guys. I feel he's there for promotional purposes. I feel that he's promoting himself. I feel he wants his opportunity on television. That's what it is. Like I said, what are you bringing to the table besides your height, that head, and your El Cheapo I can't pay vibe? Ooh, Lord, honey, why can't everybody say her name? Chrysanthemum, honey, croissant witch, Crystalina, Carbonara. Why can't nobody say her name? She gives me vibes like she's there, but she don't want to be there. She also has the vibe like, I'm half Italian. It was me. Yes. Like everybody's supposed to be all up on her. That type of vibe. It's good to have confidence. But girl, Troy wasn't even trying to have it. Now, see, was she the only girl that he wasn't all up on? She said all that other stuff and he was leaning back in his chair like, okay, girl, Troy ain't feeling you. What's really going on? What's happening with that? I don't know. Oh, let's get to Dedrick, whatever, Wackish, whatever his name is. A lot of the ladies will say, oh, I like him. And Stacy, she's calling him, what's she call him? Paw, girl, bye. Because he said he had a grandchild or whatever like that. Boy, whatever. I wonder how she's going to feel when he was like, he wants Okay, another baby, and more specifically, he's saying he want a boy. I wonder if they seen that clip yet. Have they seen that clip? Has he said that on any of the dates? Clearly not. Diedrich, you're demanding for no reason. Okay, just like Troy. Troy, let me holler at you for a minute, bruh. Sit down. Get you a biscuit because you look like you eat biscuits. You thickums for no reason. Okay, you had the nerve to say, oh, I need you to stay at home and, have the baby and I'm traditional. Do you have the coin, honey? Do you have the coin for her to stop what she's doing and have the babies and stay home? Because if you have the coin, she can do that. Okay? If you don't have the coin, you don't have the whatever to put somebody in. Now, I don't know. You may be a millionaire that's on this show. I mean, you may be just this rich, wealthy person in disguise like a Prince Hakeem, for all I know. But, honey, you better have something to bring to the table and some extra coin if you're talking about a woman staying at home raising cats. Once again, demanding. We got all these demanding men on here. Ain't bringing nothing to the table so far, but a whole bunch of mess. We got Diedrich bringing mess. AJ bringing his keyboard and beats. We got Troy talking about what he want and why. I don't know who's worse. This Alexis and Jason kind of vibe, I'm not feeling that. I don't know. It's something about that I don't like. Even though she's not that much older than him, I think they're the same age or whatever, right? She has this motherly vibe with Jason. It don't look right. I just let that go. Let it go. Not feeling that. Jason seemed like he really feeling Kyra, and that would be more of a match. I don't know, but to me, Kyra seemed like she want a bit of this Jason, he alright, but I just don't see Alexis and Jason. Seems too motherly, seems too whatever. I can't put my finger on it. Who am I digging? I'm digging, okay, out of the women, Kyra. She seemed like she know what she want, right? She a little crazy, but that's cool. Liz, girl, I think you're hiding something, like I said earlier, and I don't know what you're hiding. It's something. I just don't know. Troy, I said this about him in the previous episode and the casting thing. Troy, you are not ready for love. Remain a bachelor. There's nothing wrong with that. Fly everywhere with different women. We know when you single, if Troy would have came up to me and said, hey, you want to take a trip to Cancun? If you're paying for the flights and the hotel, we can kick it. Let's go. I mean, you're going to be mad when we get there. It ain't nothing going to be popping. That's just like you invited me to the mall. You invited me to Cancun. So therefore, just be a bachelor. Get your freak on. Nobody cares. But this facade, like you ready to love and settle down are all lies. I bet you if 3 of those women at the resort said, you kissed all of us. How about you kiss us all at the same time in our room? It will be popping. So clearly, he's not ready for that. Amber, she's the lawyer. She seemed pretty quiet and all this other stuff, but she's freakums. I can tell she's ready for a man that can handle her. She says she's an alpha woman. So therefore, yes, Amber's ready for the business. And it's going to take a woman to throw off somebody like an AJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be odd because, opposites attract, right? It's going to be somebody kind of not in the view of AJ, and then they're going to get snatched up. So Amber, even though she's short and stout, she may pull an AJ based on, she might put the leash on him. Tell him to calm down and get you some kibbles and bits and sit down somewhere. I don't know. It might be. Chris, I don't see you really vibing with nobody like that. If it's anybody that Chris is vibing with, I would probably say like a Kyra. But Kyra ain't gonna be feeling Chris. Like I said, these are powerful, beautiful women who ain't got time for that. And you talk about 2 lawyers. Oh, boo-boo. I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen next week. But yes, let me know what you think. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you watch Iyanla Fix My Life beginning tomorrow, April 10th. This is the final 6 episodes of Iyanla. Iyanla is stopping the show. She feels that that's not the direction she wants to go anymore, and she wants to do private one-on-one, so she's no longer with the Iyanla Fix My Life. So there's these 6 final episodes, and these 6 final episodes are the part 2s. A lot of them will be part 2s following the part ones of earlier in the season. So if you haven't seen those episodes, the part ones, make sure you check out the Iyanla Fix My Life series in the playlist. Until next time, I'll see you guys next week for Queen Sugar and Delilah on Tuesday. If you need to catch up, don't be afraid to binge watch in the playlist because I need to know your opinions on a lot of these shows. Also coming up on April 28th, we got The Handmaid's Tale, winner of over 13 Emmys. So it's a good show. Make sure that you binge watch on Hulu so you can just tune in and you won't miss anything because The Handmaid's Tale is off the chain. It is vulgar, so be ready for some good stuff, but it's a really good series. I love it. Wait for more. In the meantime, take care of yourself and each other. Leave the comments. Everything's in the minute marks. Until next time, bye.